What is going on YouTube? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another episode of Road to 1000 ELO. Now, the games that I will be showing you, I have played off camera, so they have already been pre-recorded, if you will. So what we're going to do in this episode is just jump into the analysis board, go through them together and see what we can do and could have done a little bit better. So without further ado, let's get into it and I will see you on the analysis board. So we are kicking off with the white pieces and we are playing against a 622 rated opponent from Ukraine. As always, we are going to kick things off with our beloved London, because I know everyone else loves London just as much as I do. So he responded, we're doing the box standard London things. He develops his bishop, we're moving our pawn, and just developing, doing the box standard things. And I know when they threaten to take the bishop, the best thing to do is literally just to develop. It's not to threaten anything, it's not to take, because if they take here, then it allows me to move into a different kind of structure of the London system. I forgot what it's called now. I think it's like Birkin structure or something like this, something along those lines. Anyway, I've seen it in Alex Benzaya's course. So yeah, we develop the castle. I developed my bishop, which was not a great move at all, because this move doesn't do much for me at all. So thinking back, what I wish I've done was, as the engine is suggesting, either to take, but to be honest with you, taking wasn't a move I would have done. Was to develop my queen to b3, and from then on the game continues. But unfortunately, you know what, we've done the bishop move. I was thinking about castling, but as soon as I saw them castling on the king side, I thought, well, that's the side I want to attack on. So castling this side made no sense from an attacking standpoint. So yeah, they moved their knight trying to go for the bishop, and at this point I have learned my lesson. When they threaten to take the bishop with two pieces, it's best to just trade. So instead, what I've done was I dropped it back, because I thought if they take, then at least it unleashes my rook and it's on the H file when the king is on the G file. I thought that was something that was worth doing. So they took, I took back, and I thought, okay, I have this file basically ready to attack the king if needs a must. So yeah, so we move on. They develop their knight, and I have made the ultimate error by blundering my knight, which was, looking back at it, it was silly, but it happens to everyone. So they take the knight. I'm not even gonna say it was a mouse click or anything. No, I just didn't think twice. So they move the knight. I tried to go for the queen, but what did that pawn do before? It was protecting this pawn. So unfortunately, I have let him take the pawn for free. He checked me, I moved back. He actually gives me a piece for free, so thank you. He then proceeds to check me again, and the one thing you'll notice is my opponent loves to check me, and it got very close to a stalemate at one point. So yeah, I blocked, he checked me again, I moved my king, and there was actually one move where he could have won the game, but he hasn't done it, so thank you for that. But anyway, he took the pawn and he just gave me his knight for free. So again, happy to take this. He moved, he checked me again. He just continues to eat my pawns and check in, so it was causing danger without actually doing much at all. So I noticed he was struggling with his mates. So yeah, he just carried on doing the same thing over and over again until he didn't. And then I thought, you know what, it's my turn to essentially start creating some threats. And because I had this rook, I thought, okay, if I can take this and then go here, it's essentially checkmate. But he moved his bishop and I moved back my queen, and as you can see, I was looking at this diagonal hoping he's gonna make something stupid like this, and then I'm able to essentially win the game. But he's gone back to his favorite thing, which was checking me. So I was just moving back and forth. He tried to take my queen, but I decided to take his pawn instead. He moved his pawn, which basically ruined any chances I had of doing the attack on the diagonal that I had previously. So I developed my knight, basically trying to kick his queen away. He moved her back, and at this point I thought, okay, let's do a little fork, let's see what you're gonna lose. But instead he's gone back to his old ways and his favorite thing to do in chess, which was to check. So I blocked, he checked me again, I blocked again. He moved his rook, essentially trying to threaten my queen, but I moved back, and as you can see, he did take, I took back, and he basically tried to check me again with his pawn. So I moved back, and he made basically a blunder because he gave me a knight for free. So the game was so hectic, but that's because I allowed it to be by giving my knight away for free. So he goes back to checking me, I move back, and at this point I thought, okay, let's create some danger. So I put my rook on the 7th rank, basically cutting his king off, and I noticed that, you know what, I had this rook, and if I can get in, I'll be able to cause danger. So oh yeah, and then at this point I made a blunder of my own, because as you'll be able to see, I gave him my knight for free. So it's like I didn't want my knights in this game whatsoever. I do remember, and I will say that in this game I was thinking, and I remember it because it was like only 2 days ago, I remember planning to do this and this, and basically try and squeeze in somewhere and try and fork the rooks. But instead I clicked the wrong button. I gave my knight for free, and I remember I was literally screaming at this point. I was thinking, what am I doing? But I took the pawn, and look, we are basically fully winning right now. He moved his pawn, I checked him, which meant his king only had one place to go, and once he's done that, I decided to move to c1 and basically swing my rook to win the game. Obviously that does mean he is able to come here, but even if that was the case, you know what, we can just do something else. But instead he moved his pawn, and then that won us the game. So I'm really happy I managed to win this game regardless of how chaotic it was. So you could say we made a comeback based on the mistakes that I've made by basically blundering 2 pieces, but the game still favored us, and it gave me the higher accuracy. So yeah, next time I just need to remember to think twice, rather than just making a move, and try not to blunder those pieces. So without further ado, let's move on to the second game, where I played a lot better. So I'll see you on the next game. So in this game, ladies and gentlemen, again we have the white pieces, and I'll put my hands up and I will say this was the best game I think I have played with the London ever. I thought after doing Alex Benzea's course and actually learning a few things, I've learned a really nice trick. So let's go through the game together and I will show you exactly what I mean. So we kicked off with d4. Let's put the analysis on. Great. Okay, so we started off with d4. My opponent has decided to respond back with d5 as well. So I developed my knight, he developed his bishop, and whenever the bishop is basically outside of the pawn chain, I have some alerts flying already, especially when they develop the knight. So I decided to go with the e3 move, and they developed another knight, which is basically, it turned into the Chigorin variation, which is one of the most popular variation against the London below 1600 ELO, I think, based on Alex Benzea's course. So what I've done was I moved my bishop to b5. Now I know this is not a typical London move. However, when these situations occur, this is something that is recommended by the London master himself. So that's what I've done. He ignored my threat completely, and I thought, okay, I'm not really sure what you're trying to achieve. So I have decided to move my knight. Now you can probably see what the plan is, because his knight here is becoming very vulnerable. So if we go back, he moved his knight back, which was a strange move. It doesn't really do anything. So in this case, I was able to take the knight, and as you can see, it's also threatening taking his queen. So and the whole idea of this trick is, once they take, so let's say if they were to take, it means I can take with a check. And in this situation, unfortunately for him, he would have had to sacrifice his queen. But let's say if the position was any different, typically if they move this pawn somewhere else, I'm then able to win the rook. So the whole idea was to actually win the rook, not to try and win the queen. So yeah, let's reload. So I've taken, he moved his queen, which gave me a brilliant idea of basically taking this pawn, and now we can win the queen, because he has to deal with the check, which is caused by my bishop. And just like that, he decided to take the bishop, which is fair enough, but then it meant I can win his queen. So yeah, he took the knight, and then we've just gone aggressive. So I developed, he moved his pawn, I've gone c4, basically trying to chase the knight away, but also if he takes, it also means I can just put my knight on here anyway, so it's not that big of an issue. He moved his knight, which means I gave him a check, and I thought, okay, what can I do? To begin with, I thought if I do this and then give him a check with this bishop, it would have been mate, but obviously he has this bishop to block the check anyway. So I've taken the free pawn. He moved his knight away, which was strange because it gave me another pawn for free. He took, I then developed another pawn, basically chasing his bishop away. I gave him a check, which, to be honest, wasn't probably the best move for me in this situation, but he decided to block it with the bishop. I took, because why not? I'm up in material. I checked him again. He blocked with the knight, and I've basically forced him to resign by pushing my pawn to e5 and threatening to take his knight, because, well, the knight is pinned to the king, and even it's already blocked. I mean, it's defended, but there's nothing he can do, or he can't really check my king or anything. So the one thing I do need to sort of learn and understand is when it's good to castle when you play in London. Now maybe this is something you guys can help me, because if they castle on this side, then I obviously want to push the pawns, and I want to launch the rook, as you guys would have seen in the first game. So is it better for me to, if they castle this way, would be to castle opposite side? But then again, castling alongside is a little bit more tricky, so that's something I need to learn. But anyway, I thought I would show you guys this game, because this was literally the best game I have played with the London system. I won in basically 19 moves whilst being quite aggressive, which just shows that playing London is you have the flexibility and the ability to play it very aggressively. Now that I'm looking at it, I could have also developed my knight, and then after takes, could also have some other ideas to win this rook or any other things. But yeah, anyway, we are back to 653 elo, so hopefully from the next episodes we can climb and get that 700 rank as soon as possible, and then we can continue climbing to 1000 elo. But yeah, thank you again for watching. If you guys do enjoy these sort of videos, please do make sure you like and subscribe, and I do want to grow this channel as much as I can, so any sort of feedback or love means the world to me. So yeah, thank you again for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Take care.